Hey, what's up everyone? This is Silver Slayer. Thank you so much for tuning into this video. Today we're going to be talking about Silver's biggest lie. What they are hiding about Silver, the truth they are hiding about Silver, and the reality that Silver is in not only the industrial world, not only the technological world, the medical world, but also the investors world as well. So, the biggest lie the biggest lie that people stereotype silver with is that it's not valuable, that it's worthless. But that's so wrong. That's so far from the truth. That's so far from the truth. Silver is actually extremely valuable and has a lot of potential. For over 6,000 years, since the beginning of man, silver has held some type of value. Back in the day, it was 2.5 parts silver equals 1 part gold. That was the first gold to silver ratio, meaning that it only took 2.5 ounces of silver to trade and equal 1 ounce of gold. So what happened? Over time, man manipulated silver, pushed it under the rug, swept it under the rug, undervalued it or devalued it, and made silver the poor man's gold, right? But we know that silver has just as many uses, if not more uses, in the technological world than gold does. So why is silver so much more cheap? Why is it so much more undervalued than gold if it does the exact same thing, if not even more effective? That's because we have this stigma on gold as the royal metal. It's for kings, right? But in reality, it's not much more rare than gold is. Or silver is not much more common than gold is. Gold's not much more rare than silver is. It only comes out of the ground 8 to 1 compared to gold. Every 8 ounces of silver, we dig up 1 ounce of gold. So you would think the ratio would be around 8 to 1 since it comes out of the ground 8 to 1. But really, right now the ratio is over 115 to 1. So we're facing a big dilemma. A big dilemma. Either A, gold is extremely overvalued, or B, silver is extremely undervalued, or a little bit of both. I don't think gold is overvalued though. I think gold's at a natural price around this $1,600-$1,700 range. Naturally, I think gold should be around $3,000, but for the sake of this video, let's minimalize it a little bit, and we'll say gold's around $1,600-$1,700. But that puts silver much higher because the ratio is at 115 to 1, and if we want that ratio to be normalized around 75 to 1, which is still minimalizing the heck out of it because it should be around 8 to 1 or at least 16 to 1 if you want to look at historical times, then it's something is still missing. There's still a missing piece to the puzzle. Things are still thrown way off. Now, who are these people? Who are these people that are manipulating these prices? Well, silver's a much smaller market than gold is, so it's a lot easier to manipulate. We've seen JP Morgan manipulate silver prices by spoofing, placing false buy orders on these exchanges, and then canceling the order out before it goes through, tricking people to think all this silver is being bought up when really it's not, which is illegal, and 3 of their employees actually got arrested. I covered it a lot last year and shared, what happened, and actually Merrill Lynch and the Dutch Bank were also caught doing the same thing. So we know that the big boys, the big players in the game, are doing illegal things to manipulate silver's price or to keep it in a bubble, keep it in a small bubble, keep it devalued, right? And actually, we've seen this as early as the 30s. FDR changed the gold to silver ratio from 16 to 1 to 75 to 1 overnight. Now, why did he do that? There was a lot of things going on during the 30s, 1933 and everything, but still, he knew that he was devaluing silver and it would never catch up, and it still hasn't. It's gotten pretty close to lowering, but it always gets back up to that 75 to 1 range. And that's even 75 to 1 is extremely low right now. So you can see that as history goes on, or as time goes on, silver's becoming more undervalued. And they want that to happen. They want it to happen because silver is a direct threat to the US dollar. So is gold. Precious metals are a direct threat to the US dollar or to any fiat currency system because it goes against the grain. You're going against money, fiat currency, which is based off of faith, where gold and silver are based off of real value. It's real money. It cannot be created nor destroyed. That's what real money is. See, we're pumping all these dollar bills into a system. We're just pumping all these dollar bills into a system. and we don't have the money to do that, right? We can try to overprint money, but the reality is we're $24 trillion in debt, and our QE, which is quantitative easing, our monetary policies just aren't going to be able to stand themselves or withstand themselves in the brink of time. Over time, the truth is going to come out, and this pandemic is the first thing that's kind of putting the icing on the cake, exposing it. It's like peeling the band-aid off, and now you see how bad the wound is, and the wound is actually much deeper than I think people are intending, and it's going to last a lot longer. See, the dollar is losing its purchasing power. It's lost 98% of its purchasing power, and gold and silver are the only things that have ever held their value for this long. You don't want to see how in third world countries, if you want to see a glimpse of where the US dollar is headed, and I always use the US dollar as a prime example because that's supposed to be, like one of the richest countries. So let's go to third world countries. Third world countries, they carry their money in trash bags, right? They carry their money in trash bags because their dollar is so deflated. Their dollar is so worthless. It's like trying to buy a gallon of gas with a whole bunch of $1 bills, but your dollar bills are only worth as much as a penny. So you have to stack up hundreds and hundreds of dollar bills just to pay $4 or $5 worth of gas. That's the rate that we're going. They carry their money in trash bags and they weigh their money on scales at the cash register because it would take too long to count out each one of those $1 bills. That's why you see like the $1 trillion bill, Zimbabwe stuff. Their money has been oversaturated, and that's the same exact route that any fiat system is going. Any fiat system, any fiat-based currency system is set up for failure. And they don't want you to know this because it's based off of faith, and the more faith you have into it, the more it can be worth. Right now, you see China pulling out, Europe pulling out, Italy pulling out of the EU. Where people are pulling out of, that are attached to the U.S. dollar, pulling out of the game right now because they are finally seeing the truth, and that's bad news because the dollar is based off of faith, and if people lose faith, then what are we gonna do, right? There has to be a new system in place. I don't know whether gold and silver is the answer, whether Bitcoin's the answer. Once upon a time, Bitcoin could have been a new currency to replace the dollar, but there's many flaws with Bitcoin, and I don't think it would work, but it was a rough draft start. And I definitely think it would have to be digital. It would have to be digital because we are in the digital age. Everything is the swipe of a credit card now. You never see anyone pay with cash anymore. It's all digital, cashless ATMs right now. Everything is cashless. We're in a cashless nation, and the cashless nations are appearing more and more over the globe. So I think we're going into a more digital age, but I don't know what the currency would look like. Hopefully it would be backed by gold and silver because that is the only standard measurement we have of something that can hold its value within this to test the stand of time, right? To test time, gold and silver is the only thing that's ever worked. I don't see why people are trying to degrade it or devalue it or sweep it under the rug. I mean, I understand why banks are, even though banks hoard gold and silver because they know that that's where their real value is worth or stored in. But it's silly because a lot of people like you and I, investors, go against gold and silver. It's almost like they've been brainwashed to look at the bear side of things instead of looking at the bigger picture, right? You can look at the bear market in silver, but then you'll forget about $50 silver in 2011, right? Let's talk about that. Why do you have to talk about $16 silver when that could be a window of opportunity to buy it while it's low and then sell it while it's high? And we see the same patterns of the 2008 credit crisis happening, which led to $50 silver. So why not, instead of being a procrastinator, why not take it as an opportunity to leverage yourself in some short, medium, or long positions and capitalize and profit from it? Right? That's the difference between a successful investor and a failing investor. Right? One looks at things from a different point of view, a different perspective, and sees things as windows for opportunity, and the other one just procrastinates. Which side of the fence do you want to be on? I know that us silver stackers, we see the windows of opportunity. We're taking advantage. We are building our portfolio to be successful, and we're planting little seeds to blossom wealth, right? That's what we're doing. We're planting seeds, and we're giving ourselves the best potential, because silver is the metal with the most potential, to build ourselves up and to make opportunities turn into real life situations and real life wealth. So anyways, just to recap a little bit, silver's been devalued, especially compared to gold, with the gold to silver ratio over 115 to 1, meaning that gold is either overvalued or silver's undervalued. More than likely, it's silver that's undervalued, which means that silver has to outperform gold sooner than later, and I think that's going to be happening within a very short time frame. I made a video talking about that yesterday, where the gold to silver ratio has to normalize back down and what that would look like. If you wanted to go check that video out. But I definitely think people are going to start seeing silver catch up, especially as gold's over $1,700 right now and silver sitting at mid $15 range. I definitely think that silver is the one that's going to have to catch up to gold, meaning we're going to see $18, $19, $20 silver within the next 3 to 6 month range. I think that's for the short term. That's a great time span. That's going to allow prices to catch up, to normalize, and to stabilize as well. So anyways, if you did enjoy this video, make sure to smash the like button. Make sure you subscribe. I'm posting daily videos every single day to give you the newest, latest, freshest news in the world of precious metals. Make sure to smash the like button. Make sure you subscribe because you don't want to miss it. Hopefully, I'll be doing another giveaway soon if the shipment comes in. So we'll see what happens. But I know a lot of things are crazy right now, so hopefully it comes sooner than later. It should be pretty soon, though, and I'll be doing another giveaway. It's also why you want to stay subscribed. Thank you so much for tuning in, especially if you watched this far into the video. This was Silver Slayer. I'll see you guys and gals soon. Peace.